In the town of Brantford, New Hampshire, the year is 1969. A young boy named Alan Parrish, the son of a wealthy shoe factory owner, feels like an outcast. Bullied by kids and misunderstood by his father, Alan's life takes a strange turn when he hears tribal drum beats coming from a construction site near the factory. There, he discovers a mysterious, ornate board game called Jumanji, half buried in the dirt. That night, he invites his friend Sarah Whittle over. Curious, they start playing and immediately realize this is no ordinary game. The pieces move by themselves and ominous messages appear after each roll. When Alan rolls, the game declares, "In the jungle you must wait until the dice read 5 or 8. In a flash, Alan is sucked into the board, vanishing in front of Sarah's terrified eyes. As bats swarm the room, she flees in horror, traumatized by the supernatural event. The house falls into disrepair, abandoned and forgotten, until 1995, 26 years later. Siblings Judy and Peter Shepherd move into the old parish mansion with their Aunt Nora. After the tragic death of their parents, the family is trying to rebuild their lives in this unfamiliar, eerie home. While exploring the dusty attic, Judy and Peter hear the same mysterious drum beats and discover the old Jumanji game. Thinking it's just a forgotten toy, they begin to play. On Peter's roll, giant mosquitoes burst through the windows. Judy unleashes a group of mischievous monkeys that quickly begin to wreak havoc. When Peter rolls again and gets a 5, a grown, wild-looking man appears in front of them. It's Alan Parrish, now an adult, played by Robin Williams. Alan has spent the past 26 years trapped in the dangerous jungle world of Jumanji. He's confused, frightened, and desperate to find his family. He rushes into town only to discover that his parents are gone, his home is abandoned, and the town is a shadow of what it once was. Judy and Peter explain the game is still active, and the only way to stop the chaos is to finish it. Alan insists they find Sarah, the only other original player. She's now a reclusive psychic, still haunted by the traumatic events of her childhood. At first, she refuses to go near the game, but reluctantly agrees when Alan convinces her that it's the only way to make it all stop. Now reunited, the 4 players continue the game. Each roll brings new chaos, from wild stampedes to poisonous plants, quicksand floors, and terrifying creatures. The world of Jumanji starts merging with reality. One of the game's worst threats is Van Pelt, a relentless hunter who emerges from the board and begins stalking Alan with a high-powered rifle. Van Pelt isn't just a villain. He represents Alan's deepest fears and insecurities. The group barely survives each roll, using every ounce of courage and teamwork. At one point, Peter attempts to cheat by moving his token early and is cursed by the game, slowly transforming into a monkey. Judy is nearly killed by poisonous flowers, and Sarah is almost swallowed by the floor as it turns to quicksand. Alan must confront his childhood trauma, especially the emotional wounds caused by his strained relationship with his father. As the game unleashes a monsoon and a full-blown jungle ecosystem begins to overtake the town, the stakes become life or death. The police are overwhelmed, and the entire city plunges into chaos. In a desperate final turn, Alan rolls the dice, just as Van Pelt takes aim to shoot him. As the bullet flies through the air, Alan's piece lands on the final space. The game ends with a booming echo. Everything vanishes, the jungle, the creatures, and Van Pelt himself, sucked back into the board. Suddenly, Alan and Sarah find themselves back in 1969, as children once more. Everything has been reset, but they remember everything. Alan runs to his parents, embracing them with new appreciation. Sarah and Alan agree to hide the game forever, burying it deep where no one will find it. Years pass. In the present day, Alan and Sarah are now married, running the Parrish shoe factory together. At a holiday party, they meet Judy and Peter, now children again, but with no memory of the events. Thanks to Alan and Sarah's intervention in the past, Judy and Peter's parents are alive and well. The timeline has been changed for the better. The film closes on a distant beach, where the game washes ashore, half buried in the sand. The familiar tribal drums begin again, warning us that the game and its dangers still lurk, waiting for someone new to play.